Hello and welcome back. The other week I cut a log up in the garage here, which was about 8 inches long, 200mm, and I ended up with a piece that is, there you go, about like that long. It's not very wide, 4 inches, yeah, about 4 inches. And let's see if I can get that, there we go, you can just see what I'm trying to show. So then they're not very thick, as I did show you. Now I've got a couple of ideas. This could be a plate or a dish or a very shallow box. Until I get turning, I have no idea which one it's going to be. So we're both going to find out together. So let's get to the lathe. Let's get some turning done. Right, I cut that piece of wood into two, obviously. And I've put a 48mm counter bore in the back, which is just going to go over my jaws here. I think that's the right way to go at it, because this is so thin that it's probably the better way to go at it. Give that a good sand over, and I will bring you back. So that's it all nicely sanded up. Very pleased with that, actually. So I'm going to give it some of this for a change, some Howard's Feed and Wax. Probably won't need much. So as you may or may not know, with this Howard's Feed and Wax, you've got to leave it about 20 minutes or so. So I will bring you back when we get to polishing it. Let's give this a quick buff. That's very nice. Let's get this turned round and hollow out the middle. case you hadn't gathered, I am actually making this up as I'm going along. Right, I'm going to give this a sand up and I'll be back. Right, that's it all sanded up to 400. I'll give it a bit more Howard's Feed and Wax. That was a bit more than I meant to squeeze, but never mind. Right, let's give it a buff out. It's not very big. It's going to be ring box maybe. Right, so let's move on to the lid, shall we? Now for the lid, I have found a piece of damson. So this is saying on the end. Don't need all that much. Right, it is a little bit punky, so I'm hoping that this is not going to go all the way through, but we'll see. So I'm going to mark for a tenon, put a tenon on it, and then I can part a piece off. Yeah, it looks like it's still punky all the way through, so we'll just have to see how that goes. So. That's better. That's not good. I'm probably going to soak that in super glue, so I shall be back in a minute. Right, this is thin CA, so let's see if we can, what this does. Now I've given this a real good drink of very thin CA, but I'm not convinced that it's going to work, but we'll give it a go. Ah, do you know what? I think that's actually worked. Right, well, while I'm like that, I can just decide. Just trying to decide what I want to do with that. I think we'll take some off that face there just to get it at least level. that's better. And I think if I'm going to swing that round a bit. Right, I quite like that, so I need to do something with this so that I can turn it round. Put a bit more super glue in there again, and let's see if we can clean that up. I think that's done it, so I'm just going to run a scraper through that. I think we'll give that a sand. So I'm quite pleased with that. It's sanded up quite nicely. So we'll give that the usual Howard's Feed and Wax. Right, let's get it turned around. I think that's going to be too big, but I just want to see what. That's probably not far out. Now I must admit, looks rough as anything, but it's not. I think we might be able to then sand it. That has come out beautifully. That's 400 grit, better than I was expecting, most certainly. So we'll give it one last feed and wax. Final polish. Right, so there we are. It actually doesn't quite, it's gone a bit looser than I would have liked, but it's for a little piece of wood, it just goes to show. Amazing what you can make out of it. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. I'm afraid this one might be a bit on the long side. I have tried to keep it as short as possible. If you like, please give me a like. They are much appreciated, and any comments are always welcome, good or bad. So I will see you on the next one, hopefully. Take care. Thanks very much for watching.